Hello everybody, I am Keaton of Kinetic Catholic Ministries, back with another video. Very jam-packed video. We have advice for high schoolers. Also, we have another team member to introduce. She was on it-ish from the get-go, just had Jazz come up, and now she's fully in it. And so she'll also be giving advice for high schoolers. That's Fiona. Fun fact, Fiona, very first of all the Kinetic team to be on a video, may recognize her from a video 2 summers ago, which was a fairly popular one. I know a few of you may have watched it. The Journey with Dante kind of a vlog. There Fiona was. What have you thought about Verona?
I thought it was really cool. I just read Romeo and Juliet for school, so coming and seeing the place where like the Montagues lived was really cool and a fun experience.
Awesome. We're going to introduce her, and then also general advice for high schoolers. I think that it's really, really fruitful. Us being freshmen in college, right, recently out of high school, we have experience in terms of struggles with maintaining our faith life, maintaining our social life, kind of the balance that goes with that, being a student athlete, having events and jazz to do, and how exactly we go about that. So that's what this video is going to be on. Thank you all so much for watching. In this video, we have Nora, Annie, Ava, James, Fiona, myself. So let's get into it.
My name is Fiona McCaig.
And what's your major?
I am an elementary education major and a special ed major.
And where are you from?
I'm from Kansas City, Missouri, aka the best state.
What is the best international trip you've ever been on?
I did go on a trip a few years ago to Italy with Keaton, and that was by far the best international trip I've been on.
It was a pretty neat international trip.
My biggest thing was definitely get plugged in at your church, or if your school has some sort of youth group or faith life or anything like that, just get plugged into that. That was a big thing for me. I didn't go to a Catholic school or anything, so there wasn't a whole lot of my Catholic faith. That's what really helped was when I started going in middle school and into high school, going to the youth groups at my church, going to Mass more, and just making friendships outside of my school and friendships with people that were Catholic and shared my same beliefs. And then we were just able to, I had a social life that was not necessarily tied to school, and it was more tied to church, which I feel like really helped me grow in my faith life.
It was really difficult for me at first, being in that environment and learning how to live my faith when nobody around me was doing it. But something that I learned over the years was to just meet people where they're at, to notice the goodness that is in all of these people around you, even though it might be different from, they might be living different lives than you live. Just loving people and, always being kind and respectful of other people, even if they don't share your beliefs, but still holding fast to what you know is true and never backing down from that, I think is really important. And it's hard, but it's something that you grow in with practice. And so I think, just recognizing that these people are still really awesome and cool individuals, even though they don't believe what I believe, was really huge for me, and just to be able to meet them where they're at.
When I started high school, I was not Catholic, and it's kind of hard to have any aspect of faith in your balance if you're not actively pursuing a relationship with God, which I was not. And as I progressed through high school and ended up converting into the faith, I realized that even after I had become Catholic, I still was not putting God above the other things in my life. I would, for example, go to many parties and hanging out with the wrong people, and then find myself having to go to confession and being in a state where I felt like I was not giving God back a gift like he gave to me in my conversion, and giving him my whole self. So then I really had to realize that it is very important to surround yourself with good and virtuous people. And being someone who is in public school, it is possible, despite popular belief, there are many people in public school that are pursuing a faith life, but sometimes it is hard to find because the overwhelming majority may not be. And really prioritizing who you spend your time with, and making time for daily Mass when possible, if your schedule allows for it, and going to adoration, and just asking God exactly what you can be doing to be putting him first. Because to have that balance, to put him first, everything else flows from there, and your social life will be nourished greatly, because not only will the people you'll be hanging out with be supporting you in that journey, but you will also be reflecting back toward them and helping them as well.
A few tips I have specifically for time management. The first one is use a planner. It will be your friend. I know sometimes it seems a little bit daunting to try to use a planner because then you have to stay on top of everything and then you feel kind of constrained to write everything down and then to check it all off, and it can be overwhelming. And then with that being said, my second tip is do not procrastinate. I know that some people make the argument that like, oh, like if I procrastinate then I'm going to be like wiser and smarter by the time I like start to do the assignment, but this is just bad. It's detrimental. Do not procrastinate. It's a lot easier to work on something each day, and this, like I said, it goes along with using a planner. Plan out what you're going to do each day. It's a lot easier to do a little bit each day. It's much less daunting. It's much less terrifying. And also going into tips for how to have like a social life in high school and how to have a faith life in high school. In terms of a social life, if you don't procrastinate, you just inevitably have more time to hang out with your friends, because that way, and also you have a better sleep schedule because that way you're only working on a small amount of work each day instead of trying to cram for like 4 or 5 hours. So that way you can say, oh yeah, I have to do one paragraph of my essay instead of the entire essay, and then I can go hang out with my friends on a Friday night. And then also make time in your day to pray. I know that's hard. Like I said, it can be the first thing to go, but definitely also experimenting with different types of prayer, whether it be like prayer journaling or saying a novena or saying a rosary, or just, I don't know, like doing like a Lectio Novena. Just finding a type of prayer that works for you is really, really critical, because like I said, everyone has different faith lives. Everyone's at different points at their faith life. So finding a type of prayer that works for you will lead you to be more inclined to say that prayer, something like that. And the Lord just wants what you can give. You don't have to like be ridiculously pious and say like a million rosaries or say a million Divine Mercy chaplets or something like that. The Lord wants what you can give, even if it's small, if it's meaningful and it's coming from your heart. That's more valuable to the Lord than 1,000 rosaries you're just saying like just to say it.
I played soccer and then I ran cross country, and so soccer took up a majority of my afternoons after school. So once I got home, I was actually so tired and I just wanted to go to bed. But you have to get in a good mindset to just, even though you're tired, to just get done with your homework, because even though you're an athlete, homework is far more important than your sport, because if you don't get your homework done, then you're not going to be able to perform onto the team. In school and in a sport, just like trying to manage, like, let's be honest, like the faith life is normally the first thing that goes, because you want to do well in your school and you want to do well in your sports, and then by the end of the day you realize, oh, I never prayed, or I never made it to church, or I never said my rosary, and it's like, okay, I'll just do it tomorrow. But one thing that I developed over the years is, particularly just like right before I go to bed, even if I didn't have time to finish the entire rosary, I would just start praying the rosary as I went to sleep. And one thing that you can actually do is ask your guardian angel to finish the rosary for you. But and then it became a habit, and then now I like literally cannot sleep without the rosary in my hand. So I think that as an athlete, you can find ways to incorporate prayer into your life, and you need to find ways to incorporate prayer into your life.
High school is really, really difficult, and I think that there's kind of an added level of relatability here in terms of us just being in it just a little bit ago. And I think that there's a lot more compassion that needs to be had for high schoolers who may struggle with the faith, whether that's you right now, whether that was you last year, whether that's going to be you coming up, right? Because it is a struggle. And one of the biggest challenges facing high schoolers, and we touched on this a couple of videos ago in our Gen Z video with Eduardo and Nora, is this notion of mental health, which is very, very real and very, very difficult. And I'm not going to dive too deeply into that, because I, as an 18-year-old, am not going to like come on here with all the professional knowledge and tell you exactly how to handle it and everything we need to know. What we do need to understand is it needs to be validated, and it needs to be validated in terms of relation to our spiritual life, because your mental health, it can affect your spiritual life, right? And it does, oftentimes. And in high school, when there's so much pressure put on us, if we play a sport, if we have a job, if we're in an activity, to maintain our academics, it's kind of the step into a life of constant busyness, and as a result, our faith life, our prayer life, kind of starts to trail behind, understandably, right? Understandably, you can't blame a lot of high schoolers for that, and that's detrimental to our mental health, right? To the mental health of a lot of young people, and that's a really, really scary thing. Something that's really important to know, and I know that we hear it all the time, and so we may get tired of hearing it, but the significance of starting a prayer life and the ease that comes with that, right? I think that we think that if we start a prayer life, then it'll suddenly start like that, and boom, we'll be able to go from no prayer to praying all the time. And it just doesn't work like that. A relationship with God is like a normal human relationship, right? I mean, it's like a friendship with anybody else. You have to talk to that person. They talk back, you listen, You want to be around that person. You have a desire for that person. And eventually, the more you get to know someone, the more you begin to love that person in a deeper way. We know we're called to love everybody, but love them in a deeper way. And it's the same way with God, right? And the more we get to know Him, the more we come to Him in prayer. Number one, the easier His voice we'll be able to hear. Sometimes in prayer, we may get frustrated. It may feel like we're talking to nothing. If we don't have a relationship with someone, it's going to be a little bit more of an awkward conversation, right? If I meet someone on the street randomly, and I start having a conversation with them, there's going to be more silence. There's going to be more awkwardness. There's going to be more tension. Because we don't know each other, right? Obviously, God knows us. God knows us so well. He knows every hair on your head. We can know about God all day long, but do we really know God? High school is a pivotal time where our spiritual life needs that personal relationship. And as high schoolers, as young people, there's a massive advantage to beginning a relationship with God right now, so that by the time we're an adult, right, we have that relationship built. We have that connectedness to where God is our best friend. That doesn't mean we start praying a little and boom, it's smooth sailing and everything is fixed. That's not what I'm saying, right? There's still going to be a lot of difficulty, a lot of hardships. That's what comes with following Jesus, right? Following Jesus, it makes things difficult, but there is a joy there, a love there, and a happiness there that isn't present in anything else. I'm not saying we shouldn't have fun in our high school activities. It's kind of a joke among my friend group that I peaked in high school, right? Like, I was big on high school activities. Also, Happy Game Day, Big Thunder fan. That stuff is fine, right? That stuff is totally fine. But the second that we lose God, the second that we start seeing our time fleeting and God comes out of that, that's a difficult thing. That's when stuff becomes a problem. And in high school and in any time in life, things like sports, things like schoolwork, we may need to be in a specific place during a specific time in order to accomplish those things. Prayer can be literally anywhere, literally any time. For me, my safe haven throughout high school, right, and still is adoration. Or just popping in at the adoration chapel is a great thing. I'm not saying that that's like a something to put off to the side. What I am saying is that a relationship with God can happen anywhere, anytime, any place. And we need to take advantage of that, especially if we have a busy life and we catch ourselves continuously going and going and going on. High school is difficult. Dealing with mental health is difficult. Dealing with the drawbacks of being distracted all the time is difficult. I think that older generations are kind of like, Gen Z stuck on their phones all the time. Like, I don't think that's fair, right? Like, we're the ones that have them. We're the ones that get distracted by them. You can't blame us. Any other generation in our spot would be acting the exact same way. I firmly believe that. So there's a validation there, but that doesn't mean, okay, because I have this can go in the place of God. That doesn't happen. That doesn't exist, right? There is no in place of God, no matter how hard we try. Having God in our life is greater than anything, greater than any sport or activity that we might have. Not that those things are bad. There's a fruitfulness there. So, thank you guys so much for watching. This is Keaton of Kinetic Catholic Ministries. I hope that you all are having an absolutely wonderful Tuesday so far. Thank you for watching the video. Thank you for continuing to support us. More and more videos coming out weekly. Very excited about this new venture, getting new faces in the videos. I think it's a very fruitful thing. Go check out our website, kineticcatholicministries.com. So many awesome things you can do on there. All our videos are up there. Very own Kinetic shop is up there. A way to contact us is up there. I'm not just a YouTuber, I'm also a Catholic speaker, so if you want to book me to come and speak, you're a church school, men's group, women's group, youth group, email kineticcatholicministries@gmail.com or go to the website kineticcatholicministries.com, click the contact me page and contact us from there. Please click the red subscribe button down below and the bell next to it. That way you get notified when we come out with new videos. Share the channel and video with your friends and family. Make sure that they know about Kinetic. Please comment and state your topic suggestions that you might have for future videos. Once again, thank you guys for watching. This has been Keaton of Kinetic. We will see you all next week. And hi, Brielle.